Hello everyone, welcome to Our Stories. Did I just get cucked by my roommate? Basically, my girlfriend and I have been going through a rough patch of sorts. At least that's what we've been calling it for a while now. Things haven't been going as great as they once were. We've been together now for about 2.5 years. Within that time, I moved in with my roommate and the three of us have hung out on some occasions. Long story short, we decided that we wanted to have a three-way to hopefully spice things up, as the sex was a huge reason why things were getting stale, and eventually, she insisted we pick my roommate. I started to get uncomfortable, and I refused. We had a bit of an argument about asking him, but eventually, she got him to agree. I didn't want to risk causing more tension between us, and I just caved in and settled on it. By the time we got to the actual three-way, it was like I wasn't even there. She was basically all over him and literally faced away from me as she was making love with my fucking roommate while I tried to join. I kid you not, I think she even fucking shoved me away at one point. Towards the end, I kept repeating her name trying to get her attention, but she basically ignored me while she made out with him. When I thought they were finally done, I urged her that we should leave and go out somewhere. I just wanted to get fresh air. I went to another room to grab our clothes, and when I got back, they were doing it without me. I don't think this even counted as a fucking three-way, since it felt like they were fucking each other and I was just there awkwardly watching. That whole ordeal made me uncomfortable and honestly insecure as hell. My roommate is taller than me, better looking, and he didn't seem to have much of a problem with what he was doing to me. Does this count as cheating? Technically I agreed to it, so I think I'm to blame to some degree, but come on man, WTF? Comments of people or advice on this? Internal Researcher 92. Pack your bags and leave. Don't look back. If your roommate heard your pleas for her to stop, then he isn't a good roommate. Best find another one, and to your question, you got cucked. Red_Crane_lives. Yes, she cheated. The whole threesome thing was a ruse for them to get together and claim you were into it. Lose them both. Life Yogurt Closet 98. It was cheating and cucking. Move out immediately and don't pay your share of the rent. Say that your ex balances you out. You didn't want it. She forced it. They ignored you. I'm sorry to say this, but I'm sure they've been fucking behind your back. Whose idea was the three-way? It was hers, wasn't it? You thought, okay, a girl, she didn't want that, right? And SHE picked your roommate. Why would she pick someone you have TOC every day? They have been cheating on you, and it was one of their ideas to get you to watch them. Silent_chart 9958. Yo. You got cheated on since it wasn't what you agreed to. She obviously lied to you about the three-way and convinced you to have it with your roommate since she wanted your roommate. So you just got cucked. You have my condolences, my friend, and none of it can be blamed on you since you got tricked by her. Bunhops. Definitely got cucked, bro. She's been eyeing him for a minute and you got played. Your roomie finally got what he wanted, and until you either break up with her or fuck someone else, you're gonna feel some type of way. Don't be surprised if this becomes a regular thing between them. Nut 8210. I doubt fucking someone else is going to make him feel better. Your nanny Cam. Says you. I say that's about the only thing that will restore this man's confidence. He needs to raw dog the soul out of some little thotty. Fucking parade her thick ghetto ass around for a couple weeks. She'll bring the man in him back and beat the shit out his slut GF too. For free. Chemo_Sabe. Best fucking advice on God. Why be the bigger person if you can cause chaos? Drumbeat me meat. Not even about being a bigger person, it's about knowing how to handle a traumatic and hurtful experience. What good comes from causing chaos after experiencing something so emotionally draining? Your nanocam. Second rule of thermodynamics states that unused energy never decreases. This holds true as much in the philosophical sense as it does in the physical sense. Meaning, the energy put into keeping a car running will inevitably do no good, as the car will still eventually break down. We will all eventually die no matter how healthy we live. And our relationships will eventually falter no matter how hard we try to keep them going. In short, order always devolves into chaos. So when order no longer exists in a re/inter action of any kind in life, the only direction worth going is toward chaos. Because there is no point in fighting that current. I think this was good comment/advice. Intrepid_night. You cucked yourself, chief. Orgies never spice up an already rough relationship. Never. Honestly, time to break it off, but just be prepared to have her come over after the breakup and get digged down by your roommate again. Time for a clean slate. Move out, find a new girl after you have some you time. Hit the gym, find a hobby, read a book, or join a group of some sort. Reinvent the concept of you. The cheating wife wants to try again. Little backstory. I, 23M, and my wife, 23F, have been together 6 years, 3 years married. We have 2 sons, 4 and 2. I'm still trying to come to terms with what happened last December. It feels like living in the past 9 months has been one kick to the groin after another. In December, a couple of days after my youngest son's birthday, I decided to go through my wife's phone because I felt her very distant and disconnected from the family. This wasn't an issue ever really. We used each other's phone interchangeably often. I never suspected her of cheating because we agreed the last thing we wanted was for our sons to grow up choosing which parent they get to spend holidays and birthdays with, especially since she had a rough childhood of going back and forth with her separated parents. Anyways, what I found was some texts of her texting another guy, and I confronted her hoping for a reasonable explanation. She cracked right away. I could see the guilt was killing her. She confessed that it was only a kiss, but something in my gut said it was more. I kept asking if she was sure that's all that happened, eventually admitting she slept with this guy. At the time I didn't know who he was. I later found out it was a 33M mentor. She had reached out to get advice on entering dental school. I felt my stomach drop instantly when she confessed. Never in my wildest dreams did I think she would cheat. My gut reaction was to fix my marriage for the love I have for her as well as for my sons, to keep my family that I worked so hard to get. She didn't apologize. She just kept saying she disappointed herself and never really cared how I felt. For the whole month of December, I bent backward trying to keep her happy, buying her things and going out more, doing everything she loved. As the weeks passed, it finally started to settle that she really was with another guy, and I became distant and she no longer wanted to work on things. By this time it was January. I was at my lowest, then contemplated suicide many times, including an attempt to down an entire bottle of Tylenol pills to try and keep her with me when she said she was going to talk to this guy she cheated on me. I passed out, but luckily I just threw up all the pills. My last-ditch effort was marriage counseling. I got her to show up, but by then she was sure she was done with me. I still wanted to fix our marriage because I love her and, of course, because of our family. She said she was done and just showed up so the counselor could give us tips for healthy co-parenting tips. After the session, I told her she would regret not fighting for us, and she said that's a decision she's willing to live with. We still lived together through this whole ordeal. I slept on the couch, in my truck, or with my sons in their room since January. Even though I knew she was talking to the other guy, I still tried to mend things, and I thought we were on a good path when I asked her to be my Valentine's, and she agreed. I was so eager. She had been my first and only Valentine to date. only later to find out she met up with the other guy on Valentine's Day for lunch while I was at work and our sons at daycare. The following week we had a snow-in. We ended up drinking wine and sleeping together. She then told me she had been sleeping with the other guy as well. This hurt more than the first time. She had been lying to the other guy that I didn't live there, so I decided to send her new guy a picture of her holding my PE*** with nails he paid for. I had to get her phone to get his number to send to him, and for the first time, she laid her hands on me because she did not want me to send the picture. He ended up thanking me and ended things with her. She of course hated me. I felt a sense of that's what you deserve at first, but soon felt regret when I saw how much it hurt her. She was furious and told me she wanted nothing to do with me, and basically that she hated me and wanted nothing to do with me. I went for a drive and ended up in a city 5 hours away and stayed at a hotel. I called my sister and she finally calmed me down to go home and stay with my parents. At the end of February and the first week of March, I moved all my belongings to my parents. My wife and I only talked about things regarding our sons. We decided on 1 week each with our boys. I started feeling more like myself being away from the situation and started talking to a girl who went through a similar situation with her ex-husband. I told my wife expecting a reaction, and there sure was. His whole attitude changed. She claimed we were even because now I had cheated as well. Now she wanted to mend things, but I honestly started to feel good being on my own 2 feet instead of relying on her for my happiness. We have been going back and forth from April to now, but I'm still not over her cheating on me, especially the second time she told me she was still sleeping with the other guy because I forgave her the first time and did everything in my power to mend our relationship. But she didn't want to fix things then, and I feel like now that she's had her fun she wants to come back, and I don't know if I can ever trust her again. The only thing I hate is that I can't tuck in my boys every night like I used to. As you advise. I'm really down in the dumps, but every day gets a bit better. Subscribe for more stories. Till then you can watch other stories I have uploaded.